Welcome to part two. We're joined by Gerry from Northern Ireland. Women love him, men want to be him. I think it's your task, Gerry, really, why women love you.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's I think it's the old Magnum.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think it's the old Magnum, mate. That's what I think it is.
Well,
Uh, oh,
that's it. I appreciate that compliment, Ross.
I'm going through a coffee phase at the moment, Gerry. Let me show you this coffee that I've got from supermarket.
Is it instant coffee, Ross?
Yeah, I'm drinking a lot of coffee now. I don't think you get anywhere if you're getting drunk on a night time. You know, every other night. It does me head in. It's only cheap. Americano intense. Uh, Hang on a minute.
Good over closer.
I've got that. I'm always playing about with computer. 2 seconds. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. Right. 2 seconds. Start there. Only £3. It's bang on.
Where'd you get that from?
Uh, Supermarket. I think it was Aldi. I think. Yeah.
Aldi.
Americano in. I've been drinking that Nescafe Azzurri, but they do another one that's same sort of size, same colour for half price. You know what? Coffee's coffee, isn't it? It's like I was having an argument with someone the other day who I know, a good friend of mine. We're going on about these tomatoes. I said, listen, mate, I don't give a shit where you get your tomatoes from, Marks and Spencer's or Aldi. A tomato, don't tell another tomato it's better because it's sold in a different place. It's fucking tomato, isn't it? Well, I've come to a
Yeah.
conclusion that with coffee, I think we're all being had off. You know, I drink a lot of coffee, me, and I just think that some prices for some brands are a rip-off. I like a bit more bang for my buck.
I just get that freshly ground stuff from Lidl.
Do you?
It's their own brand, but it's good. But you see some of the guys I work with, they're real coffee snobs. Like they're all like,
Is that what I am
they
doing?
buy like the beans and have them ground up and
No,
all.
I'm
And
not into all that. No, I'm not into all that. I'm not
they're
into all that.
nutcases. Like
Pardon?
they're proper nutcases about it. Like I thought I was in the good coffee light, but they're like, total coffee snobs. Like,
No, it's I'm not into that. I spent a fortune. I bought Mickey Fio years ago, a
buying
coffee machine.
machine.
I bet he's not even used it. And you'd have to be into that kind of thing, you
I,
know, to grind in your coffee down and all that. It was an absolute fortune, this coffee machine. But I bet he's not used it. And Mick drinks a lot of coffee, but I bet he's not got time to learn how to work it. But yeah, you could. I think it's a big, massive business. I remember there were one in Dennis's garage at his house. His big triple garage over of it. So what's that in corner there, on? It was a coffee machine from when he had La Bistro. He had a bistro, Dennis, from Sheffield. He says, that's the coffee machine from there. I says, well, what are you doing with it? He goes, I don't know. Do you think I should stick it on eBay or something? Because Dennis is a hoarder. He is a massive hoarder. And he gave £5 for this machine, Dennis's coffee machine,
yeah,
£5,000. I said, get it whacked on eBay for a bag of sand because he's stood doing that, but he's an absolute hoarder. That's just what he is. But in COVID, I went to see him. He got this at this one of his other houses, and he would in garage on one of them. Them like when you're a kid 6 years old, you get one of them things that it springs up and down. You just keep. He had one of
yeah.
them with a proper 800 quidder, and I said, "What you bought that for?" He says, "Oh well, lockdown and all that." Dennis, I bet that's collecting dust as well in your garage. I've given him some stick on that last week, Dennis. He needs it though, doesn't he, with some of them shockers he's putting on. But it's not his fault, is it? Because have you seen the state of boxing at the moment, the dregs, what they're left with, these matchmakers? I mean, I still speak to matchmakers all the time up and down the country, who I've made friends with, obviously, when I work for Dennis. And they're having it really hard, because there's no out there. And what kids that are out there, 13, 14 and 0, they're not their handlers are not risking them, are they? Because they're waiting for Turkey to ring, aren't they? Do you see where I'm coming from? So
Yeah,
boxing's in a bit of a tight spot at the moment, isn't it?
yeah. It's a shame. I don't think this Turkey TKO league is going to help things either,
No.
personally.
You know what I think about that, Jerry? I think that it's just another promotional outfit that's involved in boxing. That's all it is. And they're not going to pay like they have been paying. So I think we all need to get back to normal. Eddie Hills, and Bricktop need to get back to UK and get at it, start falling out again, because you're not really friends, it's fake mates. It's fake mates or fake bake, whatever you want to call it, they're not mates. The families are never going to be. Let's get back to some normality and let's just look at Dana White and Turkey as promoters based out in Saudi, and Dana's obviously in Vegas, but they're just promoters. That's all they are, another promotional outfit. And let everybody get back to normal. That's what we need, some normality, don't we, in boxing? Instead of trainers and managers saying to fighters, no, don't take that fight. You're 10-0. We could get a call from Turkey. Look what happened to Josh Padley. You see where I'm coming from? He got lucky, didn't he, Josh Padley? Very, very lucky. Do you know what I mean? To get a payday like that. Do you know what I mean? And he fought out in his skin. He did his best, didn't he?
Yeah,
But there's not they're not it's not going to be like that for everybody in every weight division, is it? You see where I'm coming from? I
of
don't
course
know.
not.
What's your take on all that, Jerry?
No, it's not. But there's two things there that are really bad. So, first of all, I agree that yeah, we need a little bit more normality because it's just everybody's under this sort of one-dimensional view of protect your record, make yourself look as sellable as possible, uh, and then hopefully you get the phone call from Turkey. But this is bad, right? We need to get back to the we need to get back to the time when having some losses on your record, like didn't Pacquiao lose one of his early fights? Do you know what I mean? And he'd lost a whole pile of times in his career, but look at what he went on to achieve. Do you know what I mean? We need to get back to a time where fighters could take losses, and it's a negative trait that now everybody's petrified of having losses. Everybody is so quick to jump on that fighter is done once they lose. That attitude's hurt boxing quite a lot, in my opinion.
Well, everybody's
So we
been
need to get
beaten,
rid of
haven't they?
that.
Marvin Hagler were beat, wasn't he? Mike Tyson were beat.
Yeah,
Ali were beat. It's how you come back from those defeats, isn't it? That's what the sign of a champion. The setbacks paved the way for comebacks. And even Ali got beat. Well, Muhammad Ali did get beat, but he came back and rematched them all and beat them all apart from Holmes when he shouldn't have took that fight and Burbick. But everybody else who beat him, Fraser beat him, Norton beat him. He went and beat them twice, didn't he? You see, oh, other guy
yeah,
who beat him, Leon Spinks beat him, and he went and beat him. Do you see where I'm
yeah,
coming from? Now, Norton's style were all wrong for Ali. Fraser were an Olympic gold medalist. Leon Spinks were an Olympic gold medalist, and Ali were a bad dude. And he went and beat him. He went and got him back, didn't he? Do you see where I'm coming
yeah,
from? And his last fight against Trevor Burbick, he was an Olympian as well, although he didn't win a medal. But Ali's one of the baddest cats to ever do it, mate. I don't give a shit what anybody says. All these people. Yeah, Aaron Pryor, fantastic fighter. Somebody was saying to me over there. Edwin Valerio, fantastic. He was undefeated, wasn't it? Pryor, but he came back when he shouldn't have done, shouldn't have got beat, didn't he? But Calzaghe, a great fighter, but he were ready to be done. Do you know what I mean? He were ready to be plucked, Calzaghe. He got out at the right time, same as Lennox, same as Frott. Frott were ready to be plucked. You know, when you start cutting corners in camps, he was cutting corners in Groves 1. He didn't for the second one, though, did he? Point I want to make is, it comes to us all. You know, when you're living in your big boy mansion in Nottingham with the chick and the kids and the private school, the Ferraris and all the rest of it, it's hard to get out of bed, isn't it? When you've got a big, massive bed with a beautiful view in it. You see where I'm coming
yeah,
from? And that
yeah.
happens to all of them. All of them. So I look at it. But okay, they're talking about Smith today. A lot of people on social media. You know, Spotty Frank from Matchroom. He's on about retiring. Do you think
Yeah.
that's them taking the bat and ball on because they've had a good run and nobody's really signing with them now, are they? Really, Matchroom?
Well, I mean, you can look at that and think Frank Smith has worked his way into that position, right? I'm sure he's made a few bob, right? Is
Yeah.
he just fed up with the whole thing and wants to go and live a normal life? It could be this, or then he could perhaps move on and do the dirt um, on Matchroom and go and work for somebody else, a competitor perhaps. Um, or is he just sort of, is he feeling the lull with Matchroom and thinking, I've made my money, I'll get out now. And Matchroom are going to wind down in terms of boxing? Could be. I mean, it's not any news. Like, Eddie has talked about for a while how he doesn't want to be in boxing forever. He still does a little bit here and there, but his peak is definitely being gone. I think. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm a Matchroom fan, but you need multiple promoters, and you need multiple. These guys competing because they can bring out the best in each other. I believe it or not, at times. So I actually think we need something like Matchroom still hanging around, but the impression and the actions of Matchroom at the minute seems to be that they're happy to take the back seat now, and they're just kind of coasting along, and they don't have any big, huge mega stars, and they don't have, most importantly, they've got a guy who was yesterday's news in terms of Anthony Joshua. So he holds no value in the heavyweight division really anymore. In terms of, top competitor, he's on the slide. So yeah, it seems very much like Matchroom could potentially be gone in a couple of years' time.
Mm. When they've been going out there and Turkey's been paying over odds and he's been putting all the shows on and they've been taking their lump of money off their fighters, 20% or whatever they take. It's all nice that, isn't it, when you're getting that, oh, that's free gratis, isn't it? Get that free gratis. You don't have to put the show on. You're flowing out there, you put up and all that and blah, blah, blah. When you're getting that kind of dough, and then it stops, and then that guy's in bed with somebody who you don't like, and they're saying, right, we're going to take it all on. Come and take us on. Look at the money we've got. Dana White's loaded. Turkey's got 20 times money he's got, or whatever. Eddie must be thinking, I'm not the top boy anymore now. Bricktop, he's playing the game, innit? But really, underneath, they've been used, just like they've been using people for decades. And it's top
Yeah.
at the fucking top, unlucky. That's what I say. Am I glad? No, not really. But I want to see something in UK. Now, these shithouses, they went out to Saudi and they didn't give a shit about UK fans. Joshua went out there. Fury's been out there. They're not bothered. What did Joshua say in that ring after Povetkin? UK's where it's at. That's what he said, didn't he, at Wembley, yeah? Where did he go for his next fight? Was it Andy Ruiz abroad?
Yeah.
He said with the
Yeah.
money. These people care about money. They pay lip service to boxing fans and then they piss on us from a high height. They've had to come back with the dicks between their legs. The Warren family and the Hearn family. And they're going to have to go again in UK now. So why should the fans back them now? Because they've been shitting on us going out there, haven't they, really? They've gone out there and said, if you want to come and watch, it's £5,000 to fly out here. Get your tickets and what, 5 grand a pop. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's great, that, isn't it? They've got real boxing fans' thoughts at heart there, haven't they? They've gone out there
Well,
and took the money, right? And now it looks like they're out on their ear. They're coming back with their dicks between their legs. They're in the penthouses lagging on us like that. And see where I'm coming from? And not one of them YouTubers is going to put it on them and say, don't you feel that you took piss out at UK fans going out there all the time, putting world title fights on, or charging astronomical amounts of money when nobody's got any money when we're in a recession? They don't care about boxing fans. They care about themselves. And they're a disease. And I'm the cure.
you know what they would say, Russ, if you were to say, "Do you not think you've taken the piss out of UK fans?"
What?
They would turn around and tell you that they have done the best that they can for UK fans
The
and
best.
try to make the best fights. Yeah, that's what they would tell us. That's what they would tell us.
Done the best. Tell me if they haven't done the best, they're just takers. They've been
Oh,
taking
we know that.
Turkey's money and now he's kicked them into touch. He's gone, F off. He's had a look at him, and he's thought, do you know what? I'm probably better with Dana White. He'll not burn bridges because he's smart, that turkey, isn't he? But he's had a good look at them. And Dana will have been sticking knifing on him. And what do you want to work with them lot for? And now they're talking retirement. Frank Smith's like, well, I've had a good run. A 32-year-old, you're on it runabout. CEO. I remember having a chat with Dennis about Frank Smith. I says, how come he's a CEO? Dennis says, do you want to be a CEO? I goes, am I? He goes, yeah, you're CEO here. That's it. Go tell everybody. And we used to laugh about it, pissed up. It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit, does it? You know what I mean? It's still Porky. Well, yeah, come and pick me up. Yeah, oh, we're out at so and so's having a beer. Come round. Yeah, does that mean I'm a CEO? Holy shit. All boxing is a load of insecure people shouting a load of rubbish in coffee shops about fantasy matchups that never happen. 99.2% of chat that people in boxing come out with is rubbish. Rubbish, heard it for years, man. Heard it for years. But don't worry, Russell. Stop kicking off. Keep your counsel. Keep your powder dry. I've got something bubbling. All right. Well, what? Listen, you watch it end it week. I said, okay then. Okay. Let me mark it down. Right. End it week. That's Friday. Hang on. Friday. I'll be writing it. Friday. Dennis got something bubbling. 5 p.m. Phone Dennis. I'd do that in front of him, and he said, "You know what? You're a little." Because I know it's shit. It's shit chatters for the sake of it. That's all it is, Jerry. That's all it is. It's a lot of rubbish. Like Super Bean and Jug Ears. Anthony Joshua deserves Parker fight for a vacant belt
Why?
on what he's achieved in the sport. Well, why not they give Lennox Lewis it about what he's achieved in the sport? Eh? Even though he's been gone 20 stretch or whatever. Why don't they give Lennox it? What he's achieved in the sport. What? Is that where we're at? Is that where we're at? It's like that Benito, he nailed it, didn't he? If you get to final at snooker, they say, no, you're not in final, son. Why? Well, him who you beat at quarter final does more tickets. We're going to give him, he's going to play Ronnie O'Sullivan in final. Do you see where I'm coming from? Why
Of
do
course.
we put up with it, Jerry? Why?
We have no control, unfortunately.
Send
We
me
have no control.
crazy. Crazier, should I say? Crazier. I don't know, Jerry. Where are we going with this now? Usyk, what's going to be happening with him now? Is he going to fight Daniel Dubois, aka John Coffey? Where's he, the giant mute? Where is he? Why ain't he coming out and saying, well, I had to pull out with 2 days to go because of this injury or that injury, or I took some I shouldn't have. But what's going on here with this? Why can't he come out and do an interview with him, the giant mute?
He's being told to stay quiet. That's sorry. Look at it. He's being told to
Right? Big
get
stiff.
offside and say nothing, and then we'll maneuver you into whatever fight whenever the time comes. You come, you show up, and you do your job. He's a puppet. Dubois is a puppet, so he's been directed to, bugger off out of the limelight for a bit until this all blows over. Um, because if he had nothing to hide, why wouldn't he come out and tell the fans in an interview, even one interview, just come out and tell us what's going on? But he hasn't, so I think that says it all. And the fact it's gone on this long now, where he hasn't made any appearance, I mean, it's just evident to me that something dodgy's going on, or something that they don't want people to know about is going on, and they're just doing the whole, boxing fans will forget in a few weeks, move
What
on.
about that Daddy Don Charles? Why can't he come out and speak? We can't shut him up any other time. Or Big Malk. Why aren't they coming out and saying what they want to say? Because nobody wants to upset the apple cart, do they?
Exactly. So
I
then
want to
those guys
know,
are
why isn't he coming out and explaining what's going on and what Bricktop were going on about? They can't give us half a story. What are they hiding? It's a bit like the Dennis McCann situation. That's all a bit comfy, in it, for them all, isn't it? Hey?
those
Nobody's
those
pushing
guys.
that like they did the Crusher Ben, are they?
No, exactly. Um, those guys have been told, to shut up as well. I reckon.
They are.
Don Charles, you know, Don Charles is in a good position to obviously come out and give us a bit of an explanation. But he's obviously been told to keep Sturm until the time to come out of the woodwork as arrives, and then they'll move on with whoever it is that they're going to be fighting.
Do you think John
Definitely,
Charles is a brass?
I think when it comes to the crunch, he probably is. Yeah,
Backs down, doesn't it? I mean, Chisora sacked him 6 times and he took him back. I mean, if your missus cheated on you 6 times, you know, you won't want to speak to her, would you? You won't want to near you. Once would be enough for me. You know what I mean?
of
But
course.
6 times, Chisora left him 6 times, treated him like a dog and won't pay him half the time. And he kept going back, didn't he? So obviously the guy's obviously got something in his head where he's stupid. Do you know what I mean? And you can see that Dubois' father's calling shots. That's why Tibbs has walked away from him, innit?
They want to get involved in that type of
And wait
nonsense.
with him.
Yeah.
They give him a trial, and father, from what I've heard, the father were putting the spoke in, and Mark Tibbs and Jimmy Tibbs went, "Thank you, but no thank you." There you go. Pop, pop, bang. The door is there.
Don Charles will be, looking at it like this. I've Dubois. He's now an IBF World Heavyweight Champion. This is my ride to the top. He'll be doing whatever he's told to do, saying whatever he's told to say to keep himself in that, being Derek Chisora's trainer is one thing and keep coming back and keep coming back. But now he's with, he's with Bricktop and he's obviously working alongside Dubois. So he's going to be looking to protect his status as a world heavyweight champion trainer for as long as possible. So he won't want to rock the boat.
2 seconds. I think somebody's at the door.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Been hearing things, mate. If my mum's watching, she'll say, "Oh, he's back on tackle." To my dad, "Oh, have you seen him on that Porky's, love? He's only been on that again." No, I haven't. I just thought I heard something. Then I keep hearing things. Sometimes, I know I shouldn't say this, I got roasted, but sometimes I've got like superhuman hearing. Oh,
Believe it or not, I know what you're on about, mate.
I know, yeah. But no, getting back to Don Charles. Don Charles, in my opinion, you're a brass, and your mate or ex-mate, or whoever he is, Big Malk. Big Malk, get down to 154 and we'll get at it. That's your last fighting, mate, at 154. I can do 154, Big Malk. I'll take £45 off and then I'll put it back on. Me and Big Malk at 154, we've got unfinished business, haven't we? Unfinished bacon.
Bacon, mate.
Big Malk, and I tell you what, Big Malk, I'll put my bins on and you can put your bins on and we can see who can smash each other's bins in. What do you think, eh? Me and Big Malk, we're at it. We don't
Pay-per-view,
get it
mate.
on, so let's get it on. Moses Atome, Big Frank Warren said that they were going to put a announcement out that were 8 days ago. We're still waiting. Now it's going to be for the show. Is it the first week in April? Well, we're middle of March now, or 2/3 of the way through March. So if you're going to name an opponent in the next few days, it don't give the kid much chance to prepare, does it? So it can't be anybody that's any good, can it? Really?
Yeah. I thought there was going to be talk about that Justice Hooney guy, but I don't think that's obviously going to be the guy he's going to be fighting. So
No.
I don't see who he's going to fight. It's obviously going to be, I don't like to be disrespectful to journeyman guys and stuff, but it's obviously going to be a bin man from somewhere obscure. I couldn't see anybody of note or anybody with the name jumping in sort of at this late stage, really. Do you know what I mean? So it's obviously not really what we want to see Atoma taking on at this stage. We kind of need to see him sort of step up the level of opposition. So
Yeah, I've just had a
Still
question
waiting.
here from Anthony Austin, who comes on the channel. He said, I have said Chris Eubank Jr. is a brilliant marketer of boxing and Eddie is jealous to death. He said Terry agrees with him. He also said that promoters are like drug dealers colluding to stamp on their product. Look, I think we all know where we're at now with what these promoters are, don't we? Look, fighters are like pigs, lambs, and cows. You've got to hose them down, you've got to love them, you've got to feed them, you've got to house them, keep them warm in winter, and let them out in the summer. But there comes a time where you have to take them to meat market, aka the slaughterhouse. Joshua has been slaughtered, hasn't he? 4 times. He's been down
Absolutely.
on the floor 10 times. Fury's been down 8 times. Is it 8 or 9? So they've been knocked about, haven't they? Right. I
Yeah.
personally think that Tyson Fury is taking a timeout and he's going to let Joshua get knocked about even more. And I think then he'll get it on with Joshua when Joshua's been beat. Joshua could have 6 or 7 losses. He's had 4, but he could lose another couple of times. And they'd still be pushing the shit about him being commercially viable, wouldn't they? Do you think?
I agree with you perfectly on the Fury thing. That's what I thought as soon as he announced his retirement. Either he's doing that until Joshua is forced to fight somebody else, takes a bit more punishment, maybe even gets beat, and then Fury decides to take it because this is what Fury does. He kind of puts himself on hold, aka retirement, and then comes back. And he's either going to
Every
do that.
fight he retires, it's boring now. Do you know what it is, really, Jerry? I'm not butting in here, sorry. Do you know what it is? It's a crap story now, isn't it?
It's shite.
Every time it's just a crap story now, and it's got very boring. Oh, Fury's retired. Nobody even gives it a second thought, do they? Ali did it every time. This is the last chance you're going to get to see me. It's all rubbish. And do you know what? There's only me speaking out because none of these usual. That Puppy Parsons is not going to say out, is he? Coogan's not going to say out. Every time I see Coogan, I pull him. He's like, well, I've got to play the game, and it's a bit like when certain people say, ring me up and tell me certain things, and then 3 months later, I ring them up and I go, what were all that pony you told me 3 months? And they go, well, I've got to do best for my fighter. You know what I mean? I've got to do best for myself. Look, boxing's full of backstabbers. It's the wild, wild west. You've got people in the media saying Anthony Joshua deserves a world title shot for that vacant belt. Come on, come on. Let's just let's just all be sensible here, right? Be sensible. He's not won a world title fight for 5 years, right? And he's just been flogged in a world title challenge in his last fight. So how the does he get to fight for a vacant belt now? Don't give me this commercial viable stuff. He's not deserving of that. And that's my
No,
point.
definitely.
But these people should know better. And this is why I roast them on here. And I enjoy it as well. That's just how I am, Jerry. I've got to tell it straight because if I don't, I'm going to be a shithouse myself. Do you know what I mean? And where's this Frotch interview with Ben? Is it on DAZN? Is it on Frotch on Fighting? Where is it? What's going on with it? What's happened with that?
Don't
Where is
know.
it? It's nowhere, is it? This interview, this big
It's not
interview
delivered.
we're all promised. Crusher Ben interview. Where is it in editing room? Nobody's putting out, are they? It's all a load of pony macaroni, in it? That's what it is. So
Well,
I want to see it. I want to see Carl put it on him. After
not
everything
delivered.
that Carl said on his channel, we want to see it, don't we, Carl? All right, we want to see it. I want to see it, Jerry. Frotch and Ben, I want to hear Frotch say to him, how did Clomiphene get in your system? Isn't it a masking agent? Is it? Some clever dick were trying to tell me what it were in comment section earlier. I will led to believe it's a masking agent, in it?
So I was led to believe as well.
So Frotcher's got to have put it on him, and he's surely to God. He's got to have if he's got access and he's about telling it straight in his channel. Or he's a
Okay.
multi-millionaire working in media. So he doesn't need the money, so he's got to have told it straight, and it's surely to God.
We can only hope, Russ.
Well, I think he will. I don't think he'll let us down. Not the Cobra. Not the Cobra. I won't have it if he lets us down. I'll be devastated. Well, I'll be gutted, Jerry. I'll be like, oh, Carl,
Well,
what are you doing to us? Where's your bed interview, Carl? Come on,
I
man.
really hope
Get on
so,
with
mate. I really hope so.
I can't wait for it. But it's if they're going to bring it out fight week, that's brilliant. But can somebody in the media let us know when this is? Because Piers Morgan just tickled his feet, really, didn't he? Started going on about, well, people in tennis are not. Tennis is not boxing. You're not getting punched in the fucking head. If anybody wants to know what happens when you get punched in the head, go and look at Gary Sykes. Somebody who was throwing like 1,300 punches in a fight, 120 punches around non-stop, who could have been a middle distance runner, a superhuman fit kid who could run like the wind. Go look at Gary Sykes or Michael Gomez if people want to know about what happens when you've took too many punches or what happens, what boxing can do to you. And Roberto Smith, whether it's 100 grand you find Eubank or 150, where's that money going? It'd be nice if you could make Gary Sykes' belt because the proof is there in the pudding. Carl Johansson was a defence. You go down the rankings, if anybody pulls out, they get the next in line. It's a fucking defence. If it were a Matchroom or a Queensberry fighter, it'd be classed as a defence. Carl Johansson. And they're not classing that as a defence. Just because they don't want to make him a belt. It's an absolute joke. So
It's a disgrace, mate.
I lose my rag over that, you know. It's like a boiler that won't go away on my arse, you know, that Gary Sykes belt. It bothers me that, you
Yeah.
know, because I've met the
Well,
kid. I've met the kid. He's a nice kid and he can fight as well. You know what I mean?
rightly so. Rightly so, mate.
It's and I feel for Julian as well with that. I do. I do. I think it really, really rankles me. It really bothers me. It bothers me more than what else I think at the moment. That it does. So we're going to see what they're going to do, aren't we? With Roberto Smith, with his 100 grand or 150, whatever it is. Where's Gary Sykes' belt? Do the right thing, Robert Smith. Even just reply to Julian McGowan's email and let him present all the evidence to you. And all the people involved, Maloney, Steve Wood, whatever, Box, Rec, the lot, it's all there. Just sign off on it and say it's an admin error and give the kid his fucking belt. And then I'll get behind you, Roberto Smith. The man you sat there like some big fat slob in Turkish suite out there in Saudi with all that free gratis, like the rest of them. Do the right thing, or I'll not let it go. All right, I'll be putting you up on billboards again. Let me tell you, because I'm not going to let this go. It's just how I lose my head, don't I? You know what I mean? I know I put that billboard up in Dewsbury about it, didn't I? I shouldn't have done, but it bothers me. And they're not cheap, them, you know. It's just something like
Well,
that really bothers me, you know. You know, if I get my head into something,
yeah.
my head will go, and I'll just think, do you know what? I'm going to prove a point here. Do you know what I mean? I think out of them 19, 20 billboards to put up, that meant more to me than any of them on the Job Fuel and Mickey Field ones. That one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People can do loads of views, but I won't bothered. I got my point across, but I'll not let that go me. And now Julian went. It's awful how that kid's been treated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Boils your blood, mate.
Yeah, it sends us mad this sport, Jerry, doesn't it? It can really like knock us, can't it? And I know I'm a mouthy little so aren't I, at times, but it can really send me mad. You know what? It fuels me that, you know, when I get up in the morning and do them runs, it fuels me, honestly, Jerry. I swear to God, it really does. Stuff like that, and I think, nah, I ain't packing my channeling. No, I enjoy it too much.
Bit of
Being
a drag.
in their fucking side. Because everybody knows what they are. You know, that border control. Board of no control, isn't that right, Charlie Giles? And all the rest of yous. Can't even calibrate your fucking scales. Anyway, that's it. Kent, when are you coming on? I miss you. That's about it, really. Jerry, listen, it's been a pleasure. I hope
No
you're
worries,
well.
mate.
I hope your missus is all right, and I'm looking forward to coming to your wedding in October. No, it's on
No
my
worries, mate.
birthday, your wedding, Jerry.
What was that, mate?
It's on my birthday, your wedding.
Is it right enough? Next one.
You'll be
You
55
have,
when you get married, Jerry. Be an old codger.
you have to behave yourself though.
I'll behave myself over there in Ireland because you know me with my mouth, I'll probably end up in a boot of some Mondeo or something with some guys with, Colin Farrell types with balaclavas on. I'll probably end up having to do with IRA or some military group or whatever. So yeah,
Oh Jesus!
sure, I'll be on my best behaviour over there. All right, Jerry. Promise you. It's at a
Thanks
castle,
for that,
isn't
mate.
it? It's at a castle, isn't it?
No, it's actually well, it's obviously a hotel now, but it used
Yeah.
to be I think it used to be an old army barracks.
Yeah.
Whenever when the army was over here, obviously with the troubles and that, I believe it was an old army barracks years ago. So
Brilliant.
yeah, so I think the way the rooms are is all because we're like would have been like army dormitory. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And they've turned it into a hotel. If I'm
Brilliant.
wrong now, I guess I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Okay. All
No
right then.
worries, mate.
Well, listen. You take care, Jerry, and all the best.
No worries, man.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Take it easy. See you later.
Bye. Well, that was Jerry from Northern Ireland. Women love him, men want to be him. Well, that's about it, really. I'm gonna pour a large one, and I'm gonna watch Jewel, a film that was made in 1971, Steven Spielberg's debut film. It's called Jewel. No, it's on. I think it's it's on telly anyway. So you just click a few buttons and it's on. It's about Dennis Weaver plays this guy that's being chased by this juggernaut truck or something. So I'm going to watch that tonight. Gone old school, Anna. So, all right. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Well, that's about it, really. I'm absolutely whacked out. Go on, booyaka!